Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! Peekaboo. I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2500 BC, plus 19, minus 22.5. I don't even know what that means. The album. What album? This album. Dad AF. Rock on, gold dust, woman. Hey, little thing, let me light your candle, cause mama, I'm sure hard to handle now. Yes, I am. Dueling banjos. I was going to say dueling bajanjos. Dueling bajanjos. Dueling banjos. What made me just think of that? Probably, take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me down? Every rose has its thorn. How are you guys doing today? Oh my God, I have lost my mind. I have all of my stuff organized. Okay, this is how I start a video, right? So I was sitting here and I was like looking around and I was like, oh, there's a Morphe brush over there on the floor. It was just sitting there next to the dog bed. I was like, okay. So I was sitting here and I was like, these are the things I want to talk about. The hats. Okay. Birthday shout outs. Shade to Jaclyn Hill and Lauren Lee. I can't even get my name straight anymore. Okay, shade to Jaclyn Hill and Laura Lee. Okay, and then I want to talk about Charles Frank, who exposed me for my mystery boxes. And then I want to get into the drama, which we're going to talk about James Charles, and he is still not being held accountable. Chris Clemens coming out and talking about him and addressing the CEO of YouTube, as well as Morphe brushes, and Morphe brushes, Morphe makeup, whatever you want to call them getting a lot of backlash over their continuing support of James Charles. And then I wanted to talk about this realization that I had about this whole following of people and supporting of people, because none of these influencers, besides Chris Clemens and maybe a few other people, are coming out and saying anything really against James Charles. They're not backing away their support from James Charles, which is very, very interesting to me. And I kind of had this realization about it, so I wanted to talk about that. So we're going to get all that. So let's talk about this first of all, okay? Now, when you come over here to a Peter Monn video, depending on the hat that I'm wearing that day is probably my mood, which is why some days you get Silver Fox, okay? I'm not feeling so much like that today. Then I got this new shark hat, which I love, right? But then, today in the mail came my new hat, and it has a donkey on it, and it says D-U-M-B, ASS, and that's how I'm feeling today. And if you want to know why, go over to my Peter Does Stuff channel. Thank you guys so much for the support over on that channel. I'm loving that channel. I'm doing little short vlogs every day for the month of April. I'm having a blast over there, and you guys have been so fantastic to support it, so thank you. But I did a whole video over there about my need to start my day over like 15 times today. One of those reasons being that I burnt a plastic envelope to my stove. I told you I couldn't cook, and no, I wasn't trying to make envelope soup. I don't know who envelope soup is. I was not trying to make envelope soup. Envelope soup. I cannot speak either. What is wrong with me today? God, the sky looks so pretty. Anyway, okay, before I get into that, though, I want to give a couple birthday shout-outs. The first one is to Elizabeth, who said, okay, Peter Monn, it is my birthday. I normally wouldn't ask, but can I be your good Judy today? I'm 28, sober, and loving life, and that is amazing. And I just want to say happy birthday to you. I hope you have the best birthday in the entire world. And, of course, you can be my good Judy. And then I also got another one. This is from Jessica. Jessica said, and her name is Jessica Fletcher, which I thought was so funny. Do you guys know who Jessica Fletcher is? She was Murder, She Wrote, Angela Lansbury. You guys don't know who Jessica Fletcher was? Okay. So anyway, she said, I would spontaneously combust if I got a... Don't do that! I just watched that movie about those kids that were spontaneously combusting in high school. It was gross. It was so gross. Anyway, I would spontaneously combust if I got a birthday... It was with the girl that played Hannah in 13 Reasons Why. Did you see that movie? It was called... I think it was called Spontaneous Combustion. It wasn't very good at all. But anyway, I would spontaneously... I didn't finish it. So maybe I need to finish it. I don't know. She said, I would spontaneously combust if I got a birthday shout-out from my fellow Stevie Nicks stan, True Crime Lovin', LaCroix, Limoncello, drinking good Judy. Is there something on my shoulder right there? I used to always say always too much and never not enough about myself. Oh, happy birthday, Jessica. I hope you have the most amazing birthday in the entire world. Okay, now are you ready for the shade to Laura Lee and to Jaclyn Hill? So I don't know why I thought this was so funny, but do you ever go through Twitter? I know, I do too, and I hate it. It's toxic and it's nasty and it's ugly, but sometimes you have to do it, okay? But do you ever go through Twitter and it's like kind of hilarious how like two tweets will be right on top of each other? So I don't know why these were on top of each other for me. But Jaclyn Hill tweeted out and she put, "Oh my God, I got bangs. I was trying to ease into it and said screw it last night," right? of which, right underneath it, Laura Lee tweeted, "I don't know who needs to hear this, but not everything is a competition." And I don't know why that was so funny to me, but I just would love if they were like sitting around and Jaclyn's like, "Yeah, I got bangs," and Laura's like, "Girl, not everything's a competition," okay? I would love to just hear that conversation. I think that would be so fantastic, right? So I wanted to share that with you. The other thing is Charles Frank, who is a fellow YouTuber, if you don't know who he is, he did a parody video of me today. It was hilarious. It was spot on. And it was just, it was just all in good jest. It was very kind, and it was kind of an honor, actually, that somebody would do a parody of me. So I want to say thank you to Charles. There's been this whole joke going around these mystery boxes, and I've actually gotten a couple messages from people that are like really concerned about me being exposed about these mystery boxes. Okay, 1985 wants your sense of humor back. I'm just saying, okay? You don't have to be worried about me and my mystery boxes. So, with all of that being said, at 6 minutes and 39 seconds, let's get into this video. Okay, first I need some lip gloss. Did I cover all my bases? Did I get everything done? I think so. All right, so a couple days ago, I noticed that Chris Clemens was going in about this whole situation with James Charles, okay? That he was, now if you don't know who Chris Clemens is a YouTuber. He identifies himself as a comedian, and he used to be part of that kind of like Tana Mojo, Christine Seidelko, Elijah Daniel. He was kind of part of all that group that kind of rose together. I actually find Chris really, really funny and really relatable. And the only difference between Chris and I is that he smokes a shit ton of pot and talks about it, and I don't. That's not the only difference. But I like his videos. Today I was watching a video of his where he bedazzled he recreated these $5,000 Nike. Anyway, I like his videos. I think they're funny. I think his humor is hilarious. I like his videos, and I think that he is a YouTuber that can stand on his own, And like when I would see that group together, it was obvious to me that some people needed more than others in that group. And then when it all kind of like busted up and went their separate ways, it was interesting to me. I wanted to see, will Christine be able to stand on her own? Will Chris be able to stand on his own? Whatever. And he has, and he's, made a fantastic platform for himself and is doing a really good job of posting videos that are true to himself. Okay. So, he also is somebody that likes to, what did he say the other day on Twitter? He said, "I smoked the pot, now I'm stirring it." I would agree with that statement. Chris is somebody that, I wouldn't necessarily say he stirs the pot. I just think that he's vocal about things that he feels passionately about. And one of the things that he feels passionately about is that he doesn't understand why James Charles is not being held accountable, okay? Specifically by Morphe and specifically by YouTube. So, he's kind of done this whole thing on Twitter where he has come for YouTube, not come for them, but ask them specifically, like, why are you continuing to support this person? So let me get in here really quickly. I need my reading glasses. Now everything that I do in my video, Charles did in his parody video of me, so I think it's kind of funny. So anyway, okay. So if you go underneath here, he says 3 days ago, he retweets a Morphe giveaway that they're doing, and he says, "Hey Morphe, just a quick question. I'm wondering why you are still selling and promoting someone with double-digit accusations of predatory behavior and who also confessed to these things. Let me know, girl, XOXO." And then he said to them, following up on this. Now, he keeps on saying he's going to follow up on these things until they respond to him. So then it goes on. He tweeted other things out there. He says to YouTube, "So YouTube, when are you going to demonetize, deplatform a predator who confessed to all of this on your platform, LMFAO, and yet my videos..." I don't know what the LMFAO is for. When he later comes out and says that this is not something that needs to be turned into drama, but whatever. LMFAO, and yet my videos get demonetized for reviewing a weed brand in a state where it's legal. Make it make sense. And he tags Susan Wojcicki Licky. I don't know what her name is, okay? I don't know. I'm never going to meet her. It doesn't really matter, okay? Susan, hey, how are you doing, okay? Could you answer Chris, please? And so, Wojcicki, I think her name was pronounced Wojcicki. So anyway, she's the CEO of YouTube. So then he responds to her again, and she doesn't respond to him. She's like, who, what, I don't care. He says to her again, and Susan, I will check in daily, talk soon. Okay. So then he goes in here, and somebody responds to all this and says, they're all allegations, that's why they didn't demonetize him, responding to Chris. And Chris said, he pulled his pants down to his ankles and sent in a picture, okay, oh yeah, and then there's also the video he made confirming he did all of this. And he added YouTube and Susan Wojcicki, I don't know what her name is. And I don't want to say something that's going to get me into trouble. You know what I mean? Like calling her Susan Wojcicki Licky or something. I don't know her, okay? I don't. We don't go to the Chinese buffet together. We sure as hell don't shop at the Marshalls for Jeffree Star's clearance makeup. Can't even talk today. What is wrong with me, people? What have you done to me? God, I can't even get my glasses on. Okay, so then he says up here, let's see. He goes on about it again. Okay, he says to Morphe brushes. This was 5 hours ago. Hey, boss babes, just checking in. Okay, about this, where he's asked them before why they're continuing to support him. Then he says this, and this is interesting. He says, woke up to an email from YouTube that basically said, oh well, LMFAO. Okay, and this is, so when he said to them, so YouTube, when are you going to demonetize platform predator, okay, who confessed to all this on your platform, right? This is the response he got. Now, I think it's nice that he got a response from YouTube. Now, if you're like me out there and you've emailed YouTube a million times about a concern, they won't respond to me. So he must, I don't know, have some secret connection at YouTube or something like that. I don't know how some people get that and some people don't. But it goes on here and it says, my colleagues from Team YouTube and YouTube who are engaging with users on Twitter have referred your tweet to me. Therefore, I wanted to directly follow up with you and your concerns about video demonetization. This is not a template response. Now, I always just get template responses. Chris Clemens, he's really pushed some buttons at YouTube. With regards to your video, I bought everything from Seth Rogen's weed line. Our specialists have reviewed the video under our advertiser-friendly content guidelines again and determined it to be eligible for limited ads. So that means that it's basically demonetized, okay? Because they're finding it, and the reason why is that they go in here and they say, specifically, they have identified content focusing on the creation or distribution of drugs or drug paraphernalia in a comedic, non-educational, or non-documentary context. I also wanted to emphasize that YouTube takes any allegations about predators platforms on our platform seriously. We are drawing on our creators' responsibility and ask our creators to remain responsible both on and off the platform. If we notice that a creator's behavior, whether it was on our platform or not, harms our users, community, employers, or ecosystem, we may take action. We may take action to protect the community. And then it goes on here to say you can report this kind of thing. Okay. So James Charles came on his, I'm very confused about this, okay? So James Charles came on his platform, okay, on YouTube of 25 plus million subscribers, took complete ownership, well, I mean, not complete ownership, I mean two. There were multiple double-digit at this point allegations that have come out. But he supposedly took accountability, whatever that means to him, in this video, that yes, the things that were being said are true, and YouTube co-signs that and they're okay with it? I'm confused about that, okay? Now, I don't smoke the ganj. I don't smoke the Mary Jane. Y'all do what you want, okay? But a video about trying Seth Rogen's weed line doesn't get monetized, but James Charles' whole entire video, canon of videos is still up over there. I'm confused, okay? And this is my thing, right, about all this. And that is so baffling to me. And so many people have said this, okay, that, and you know, this was like Blair White in her video, and I know a lot of people have their issues with Blair White, but Blair White in her video made some very profound points. And one of the things that she said was that if this was a heterosexual man, okay, this would be a completely different situation. And that is so incredibly true, okay? I mean, this person would be completely just, they would not even be on YouTube anymore, let alone addressing it in a video, okay? That YouTube would even allow to be up on their platform, okay? So, to me, it's just like this whole situation is very baffling. Now, I will tell you, Chris Clemens came out and he made a statement. Now, he has since deleted the statement, okay? Because a lot of drama channels, they had something to say about this, okay? But Chris Clemens, hold on a second. Oh, I just had it screenshot. Where did he say it? This is where it's good to screenshot stuff and then save it. He came out and he said, no offense, but ew, Don't put me on drama or T channels or SHI Tut. This isn't tea or drama. It's serious and gross and a literal crime. What's not clicking? Okay, well then here's my thing to you. If it's that serious, there's no need to include LMFAO or LAO or LOL. If you don't know what those mean, because you're using them, they mean laughing my, I think, Chris, you know what those mean, right? So why in these very serious tweets are you including those things? Number one. Number two, I appreciate you coming out and supporting this whole situation that's going on and saying something about it. But, commentary channels, drama channels have been the people that have been talking about this from the very, very beginning, And yet again, I think it's always like, there's the lowest of the low, and then there's drama commentary channels. And I'm really not sure why we get that rap, or I don't know if it's just, some people out there that people don't like, and then we all just get thrown in together. But, there's so many of us out there, watch what you want. But, as far as me, covering this, I don't take any offense to him. He says, don't take any offense. Listen, I'm going to put what I want to put in my video. So if you tweet it out, I'm going to put it up in a video, okay? So I don't take any offense to it at all. And if you don't like drama channels, don't watch drama channels, You don't have to. There's a lot of channels out there that I don't watch. I don't like motorcycles, so I don't watch motorcycle channels. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not into car repair, so I don't watch car repair channels. Now, I might tweet something out, and I might say, hey, car repair channels, ew. Please don't include me in your videos. And they'd be kind enough not to, okay? But if they chose to, I don't know, repair, a Bentley and gift it to me and talk about, I'd be okay with that. You know what I mean? No offense taken whatsoever. So anyway, so he goes on this whole thing. Now, I want to tell you about the revelation that I had, okay? Here's the thing, though, I will say about Chris. Chris is being the lone person that's kind of standing out and calling out Morphe and calling out YouTube. There really aren't a lot of people out there that are doing that, okay? There's just a few people out there that are really, other than drama and commentary channels, there are just a few, I would call them mainstream influencers that are out there that are calling this stuff out and saying it and asking the questions, the appropriate questions, I think the fair questions, right? And that's interesting to me, and I think that would have to be a hard situation that he's standing in, that he's the lone person doing it, so he must feel pretty strongly about it. What's interesting to me is when you go over to Morphe, okay, since he asked Morphe, a lot of people are asking Morphe about the same thing. So underneath here, for 3 days ago, they put, take an additional 40% off sale items this weekend on Morphe.com. These are the comments read straight down. You really gonna risk it all for one bad dude? If you release that collection, it will be over. Is it worth it? One of them, and they say the age, in a world full of terrible brands, y'all have risen to the top. Congrats. Never buying from y'all again. Y'all need help too. Man, this isn't the time for a sale. Morphe is going downhill and it's all Morphe's fault. This is ridiculous. Nope. So this company is really going to choose money over the safety of never buying Morphe again. What a joke. Are y'all doing refunds? Glad to say I've never bought anything from this company. Predator, not worth it to continue ignoring the problem at hand. Boo, hiss. They're putting their ages down there of where the allegations came from. I'm actually embarrassed at this point that I own any of your products and the fact that you're not addressing the situation either. Never getting a dime of my money again. I guess that one guy is worth you losing many customers. Hope you still think he's worth it when his name is at the very thing that makes you go out of business. Y'all need new management. Somebody said 16 kids. I'm buying ColourPop from now on. Stop blocking comments. Someone said, having a hard time selling your products, I see, maybe because you support. Can anyone recommend high quality palettes that aren't from Morphe? I would never allow my company to be put in the same sentence as the words that are being called to James Charles. I mean, you guys, it is just one after another. Just one thing after another. Now, I was having this conversation with myself last night, thinking about this, and I thought to myself, it's interesting, I was looking at these comments on Morphe, that Morphe continues to stand behind James Charles. Now, a lot of people have said that there are probably contracts in place, and therefore they can't step away from that. Okay, well, they stepped away from Shane Dawson awfully quick. They stepped away from Jeffree Star awfully quick. I have a hard time believing that if you've ever signed a contract before, okay, of any kind, there are clauses in these contracts. When you are dealing with influencers, especially highly problematic influencers, at the time that Morphe signed on with James Charles, he had already had quite a few high-profile things that had happened, okay? He had already had quite a few problematic situations that had come out. Right? Not to mention the whole start of his career and whether or not that's true or not, I mean, people forget about that. So when you're watching all of this go down and you wonder why Morphe stood by them and people are saying, well, maybe he has a contract, I have to believe that when these companies are working with influencers that have been highly problematic or have the possibility of being problematic, that there are clauses in the contract that say that they can end them and they are null and void immediately if they're deciding if something that they do affects their reputation. I would have to believe that these companies are not stupid enough that they think that a 21 or 22-year-old kid or however old James Charles is right now, that they trust his making great judgment about the world. Because, this is an astronomical situation, okay? It could be something else that, that maybe to other people this isn't as big, that's not as big of a deal. That would still be hurting their brand or their reputation, okay? So I have to believe that for as long as companies have been using, celebrities and influencers or whatever, there's a clause built in there that says, if something that you do affects our reputation, that we are able to just get away from this contract. I would have to think that that is in there, right? So then I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself, this is interesting because I have taken screenshots of many of the influencers that are still following James Charles. Manny MUA, Patrick Starr, Laura Lee, Nikki Tutorials, Nikita Dragon. I went in here, hold on a second. I have a ton, every person out there, Charlie D'Amelio, Dixie D'Amelio, okay? Every person out there that you can go in there and see, they're all still following James Charles. And I was like, this is really interesting to me that they are still following James Charles, right? So, we had this whole conversation. We had it before when he lost 3 million subscribers, and then all of a sudden you started seeing the Jenners and the Kardashians and all of the YouTubers. They stepped away and they unfollowed James Charles, right? And I don't know why I have this thought, but I was like, this has been going on for 3 weeks now. Y'all people, you've seen what's going on. You've seen the accusations. You've seen the allegations. You've seen him take responsibility on Twitter, okay? And in a YouTube video and said that this is what he did, okay? He has said, I did this. And yet you still are okay with that and you stand by that. And then I was thinking to myself, right, because people love to quickly call drama channels hypocrites. I was like, well, Peter, you still follow him on Instagram and Twitter. And I was like, no, but that's different, right? Because I'm following him in case there's a story. And then I was like, but you quickly unfollowed Shane Dawson, which I did. I quickly unfollowed Shane Dawson. And I was like, no, there's no reason for you to continue to follow James Charles. If anything happens, you can find it out through the vein of drama or through what's going on out there, and I unfollowed it. There's no reason for me, personally, to continue to follow him, okay? And it's probably a move that I should have made 3 or 4 weeks ago when all this came out. It's probably a move I should have made actually 2 years ago, okay? So my question then is, and I'm not saying that, listen, for those of you that come over here and be like, oh, Peter's holier than thou. No, this was a learning experience for me. This is where okay, well, we all make excuses for why we're doing what we're doing, right? So for those of you out there that are still following James Charles, but you don't condone what's going on, why are you still following him? To you influencers out there, Laura Lee, Manny MUA, Nikki Tutorials, who tries to stay out of being problematic as much as possible, Patrick Starr, Charlie D'Amelio, Dixie D'Amelio, all the people that continue that are these big famous people, big influencers of the world, why do you still follow James Charles? Do you condone what's going on? Are you okay with it? Got Mick, who possibly could be winning RuPaul's Drag Race next week. Are all these people supposedly okay with what James Charles is doing? Or are we going to be okay when they finally step away because it's the popular thing to do? When 2 weeks from now, something happens and then everybody starts unfollowing James Charles. For the last 4 to 6 weeks in the last 2 years, you've been okay with it, And so then I have to ask myself, well, where are we as a society? Where are we complicit in this? Because we say it's not drama, Like Chris Clemens said, it's not drama, LMAO. But is it? Do we consider it that? Are we part of that? Are we complicit in that? Why do we continue to follow these people that are problematic? That's part of it. If you go read any thread, like on the Beauty Guru Reddit or anywhere, about any of these problematic people, okay? And this goes so far past being problematic, but any of these people that if you read the threads about it, what people will say is, if you do not want them to continue to be successful, stop watching them and stop following them. So what is it saying about us as a society if we are continuing to choose to watch them? if we are continuing to choose to follow them? Do we really have that need to follow these people? I mean, that was such a BS excuse that I was making for I have to keep on following him in case he posts something. I'm going to know it in 5 minutes anyway because it's going to be all over Twitter. You know what I mean? I don't need to follow him for that. Hell, I got better people out there blocking me. You know what I mean? Like Jeffree Star. You know what I mean? I still see all of his tweets. You know, so it's like whatever. Like, but why do we do that? Why do we continue to support these people? And why are we okay with the fact that all of these influencers around him, all of his friends, are okay with it? That they just continue to follow him on Instagram and Twitter, and, you know, what are they thinking? That this is going to just one day be okay? And then that's what I really wonder is, if you haven't unfollowed him yet, what is it going to take? What is it for you to take to withdraw support for this person, okay? What is it going to take for you to one day look at this situation and say, I'm not okay with this, you know? I just can't support this anymore. Who's going to be the first person that's going to do it? Why are you all so scared to do that? Why are you so scared that it's going to affect you? Or do you think that James Charles is going to come out on this on top after all of these allegations that he has taken responsibility for? And do you think that he is going to be like, just, you know, acquitted of all of this? What world do you live in? So I don't know where I feel as far as, I'm just asking personally, can I continue to support people that continue to support this? I don't know that I can. I don't know that I can continue to sing the praises of these people that I think that have made changes. I don't know that I can say that I think that Nikki Tutorials is unproblematic or that Laura and Manny have made really great changes. I don't know that I can say that, okay? You know, I sat here the other night with my husband, we were watching it, and he said, who do you want to win? And I was like, well, of course I'm Team Simone, because I love her. I think she's fantastic. And if not, then I want Rosé to win. And whatever. The four of them are I love all four of them for different reasons. But I have an issue, and I was like, you know, it'll be really interesting to see if Got Mick wins being friends with James Charles. Like, that's kind of a huge deal, you know? And are we at a point where we're willing to allow our associations, our reputations, our associations and our friendships with other people to affect who we are? Like, that's kind of a big deal, right? Like, and if people don't start taking it to that level, then is the next time that it happens, whether it's with James or somebody else, are people just going to be like, well, you know, it happened with James, you know, and that's what's really scary about all of this, you know, I guess. And it's what's really sad about all of this too, you know. So I don't know. My question to you is, same question I have for myself. Why do I continue to watch this person? It wasn't because I liked him. It wasn't because I supported him. It wasn't because I agreed with him. It was because I just wanted to see what was going to happen next. Well, that's not a good enough reason for that number to be there for me, okay? And so I had to withdraw my support, whether that was just a number or not. So my question to all of you out there, and you beauty influencers that support this person is, why? What's your motive? Why do you continue to do it? And is that a good enough answer for you when you put your head on your pillow at the end of the night? I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.